Hey everybody, welcome back to the Monday Sit Rep. My name is CB Harris. This is the show where we talk about your Second Amendment rights. We talk about gun news, we talk about what's new in the community, as well as people who use their firearms for self-defense, a legitimate purpose. So, let's talk about stuff that's been happening in the news lately. Lots of stuff happening. Obviously, we know that Hillary Clinton is going to be the nominee, right? She is the nominee for the Democratic Party. She has announced her running mate as well. I'll be honest with you, I don't know who it is because, quite frankly, I don't care. I'm not voting for Hillary Clinton. She is definitely an anti-gun person. She has numerous times stated her desire for a complete disarmament of the U.S. populace. She's talked about gun confiscation and how she has a desire to do that. I know that her running mate is a little more conservative than she is, and I think that she's trying to pull back and trying to get a little bit less extreme because I think she felt like she had to get a little bit more extreme just to beat Bernie Sanders. I'm not sure what that was about, but now she's trying to pull back a little bit more towards the center. But I don't think it's going to help. I hope not, anyway. So. What is happening with this is, as most of you know, the last time we had some sort of all-out federal ban on something, new anyway, would have been under Bill Clinton's administration. And we had magazine restrictions. We had a lot of banning going on. Didn't work. It did not prevent crime. Even the FBI's own statistics have stated really it was insignificant. So insignificant they really couldn't say whether it did anything. So that law is no longer in effect. That's a great thing, absolutely. The magazine restriction was absolutely just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And it's over. Do you think if she is elected that she will not try to get that put back into place even further? I think we know exactly where she stands. She stands somewhere with Massachusetts, I would guess, because that's the next story we're going to talk about. The Massachusetts assault weapon ban. Now, this isn't a new law. What this is the Attorney General trying to add to an existing law. She's trying to say, well, these gun manufacturers, they keep changing stuff to meet the requirements, and I don't like that. So that's against the law now, too. Basically, it's what it comes down to. So they write a law in Massachusetts stating what an assault weapon is, and manufacturers, rightfully so, try to adjust for their consumers. They try to adjust it so they can still provide a product to the people in Massachusetts. The Attorney General apparently doesn't like the free market, doesn't like manufacturers do that kind of thing, so she is stating that is against the law and that's not going to be stood for. So we need to stand with these people. We need to stand by them and support them because this is absolutely these are Americans. These are Americans and they are having their rights stripped away from them. This isn't the way it should be. So let's move on. Let's talk about some of the shootings of police officers. As we know, the last week or two have been crazy. Lots of police have been shot, really just executed, murdered. And here's what I don't understand. We have organizations like the Black Lives Matter. We have organizations who support and endorse killing of individuals in the name of justice. Now, I don't want to get, all religious on you guys or anything, but I will state this. Never will God's work be performed in the devil's manner. Meaning that you're never going to get your justice by committing an injustice. You're not going to do it. It might make you feel better, but if it makes you feel better, you're probably not a very good person. I'm just saying that, murdering somebody is not going to get you the satisfaction that you're hoping for. I hope it ends, but I kind of don't think that it's going to. In that same aspect, there's been a lot more terrorist activity throughout the world, at least headline type stuff. A lot more attacks have taken place. We've had, the attacks in France. We've had the attacks in Germany. Lots of attacks happening, and I don't think it's going to slow down. I think, if anything, it's just going to pick up. Now, if you guys remember back in the late 70s, there was a lot of terrorist activity then. So we're kind of going through a cycle here. People assume that this is the worst it's ever been. I don't know that it's the worst that it's ever been, but it is definitely, still a hot item. It is definitely happening, and with the media that we have today, it gets sensationalized a lot. So be safe. That's all I can say is pay attention to your surroundings and be safe as you possibly can. Now I do want to make a prediction here. I actually don't want to make this prediction, but I will anyway. I'm predicting now, as a former explosive ordnance disposal technician, I'm going to make a prediction that there will be roadside bombs in the United States within the next 5 to 10 years. I hope and I pray that I am wrong. But I believe that will happen, and I believe it will be either outside terrorist organizations, outside of from outside the United States coming here, or it will be influenced by them and perpetrated by Americans who have been radicalized. So I hope this doesn't happen, but I really believe that that's the route that we're headed to, and let's hope I'm wrong. So next on the Life or Death Files, a man in his 70s protects his home and his wife using his firearm. All right, so this story is out of San Antonio, Texas, and this is just a couple of days ago. Actually, it's last week sometime. Homeowner in Texas, San Antonio, he's in his late 70s, and he's home with his wife. It's 9:30 in the morning, and they hear somebody trying to come in the front door. They confront the man at the front door, basically tell him he needs to leave. He doesn't. He tries to force his way in. In fact, he actually it breaks the door handle as he's trying to force his way in the home. The homeowner fires a shot through the door, striking the man in the chest, and he dies at the scene. No charges are going to be filed against the homeowner, and that is absolutely the way it should be. Now, we have people in this country, anti-gun people, who would say that it would be better for him to have been killed, him and his wife killed in a home invasion, than to kill this person with a firearm and protect themselves. And I just cannot understand it. I just don't get it. I don't understand how people could possibly think that that would be a better outcome than the one that we had. Now, of course, I don't relish anybody being killed, but if it's going to happen, it should be to the person committing the crime, not an innocent homeowner who's just trying to protect himself and his wife and his own belongings. So, in this case, I'm glad that things turned out the way they did. So next on What's New, we have a new knife. This one's out of the Blade Show. This was the People's Choice Award, and it looks pretty good.
So, what's new?
Okay, so Schrade knives, as many of you guys know, they've really upped their game in the last couple of years. They have come out with a lot of new models. They're listening to their consumers. A lot of really good products at a very reasonable price. And this one still fills that bill as well. This is the Schrade Frontier, and it is a full tang fixed blade knife. It has a 7-inch blade and is 13 inches long overall. Now, it weighs about a pound, and this is kind of a, your bushcraft type knife, I guess. It is a Frontier knife, and it's a high carbon steel, has a drop point. That high carbon steel is going to help you out because it also comes with a ferro rod. So for fire starting, it's going to come with that, and it's got the high carbon steel that you need to really make that work well. It's going to come also with a knife sharpener and of course a nylon sheath. It looks like the MSRP is about $60, so again, a very reasonable price considering that you're getting a full tang, very large format fixed blade knife. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did, it's always appreciated when you like and share the videos. If you are not a subscriber and you want to become one, find that subscribe button and give it a big old click, and then come back next time for another Monday Sit Rep. Remember that your mind, that is your most important tool, so it is important to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe. Charlie Bravo out.